Hello everyone and welcome back to more Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. We are back for more of this game and I am back refreshed. I did a quick Spark Notes crash course on what had happened in this universe in essentially the story in the last game. So I remember everybody. I remember most of what everybody's story is and backstories and stuff like that, so it's fine. We caught up. We caught up. So last episode we just started off on Waltz's route because I felt like he fits more towards the canon in my head, in my opinion. So we started off the chapter with just a look into our daily life of being queen, our duties, our bit of a hint of a struggle with maintaining our relationship with Waltz and having being so busy that we kind of almost don't have time for each other, and then a little sneak peek into the mind of Waltz right at the end of the chapter where we went to bed that night, where I think he feels a little bit insecure. There's some insecurity going on in terms of living up to being our partner because we are queen and we're ruling a kingdom. We're also the Tenebarium bearer, so yeah. So we go to sleep that night. We try to reassure him, and he tries to reassure us as well with our stress of our duties and our daily tasks, and also us being overwhelmed with are we doing enough? Are we doing a good job of running this kingdom? So yeah, lots to think about, but that is just the beginning. So we're gonna jump right straight into chapter 2, where I'm pretty sure we're going to get into more the meat of the problems going into this story with Waltz. Okay, so let's go. So there's a voice. There's a voice telling us exactly of course, our insecurities, our demons, just saying no matter what you do, you will never be good enough. Okay. Who's there? I bet it's mom. I bet it's mom. Mom's the mom. I bet it's mom because she seems the type to call me out on this shit. I call out, but there is only darkness around me. Your efforts would be for nothing. Witches and humans could never live in peace. Oh yeah, and there's so part of the kingdom issues that we are facing is there's still some ongoing witches that are getting a little too power crazy, power hungry, and they're abusing their powers still, and there's we need to punish them accordingly kind of thing. But we are also still trying to fix that relationship where we're trying to bring peace and harmony between the humans and the witches. Following up the events of the last game. The taunts and jeering grow louder, so loud I can hear them even when I press my hands to my ears. But I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. There is laughter, cold and mocking. You are a failure as a queen. Please. You're too weak to be the Tenebarium bearer. Hana? Oh, I'm sorry. We're having a nightmare. Oh yes, that's another personal issue we're going through, is that we have reoccurring nightmares. We take potions that Dolores tries to help us gave us to help us with that, but it still kind of makes it worse ish. Hana. Oh, hi. My vision is blurry with tears when I blink my eyes open. Eventually the smudges resolve into a familiar face. Waltz. He leans over me, eyebrows furrowed with worry. Are you okay? Oh. I rub at my eyes with the back of my hand. It was a nightmare, and there were all these voices. They weren't real, Hana. Waltz wraps an arm around me and pulls me closer to him. But what if they are? What if those voices are the negative thoughts in the Tenebrarium? Hana, oh. What if they're right, Waltz? A pitiful sob escapes my lips as I press my face into his chest. Waltz rubs soothing circles into my back. They're not. You know they're not. All you have to do is look at the smiling faces around town. But there's still so much strife and... Well, Waltz kisses me softly on the head. You can't solve every problem, Hana. Not immediately. No ruler is perfect. King Gennaro wasn't either. Father, yes. Oh, Father, how I miss you. He'd be proud of you. Yeah. A calm silence follows. I breathe slowly in and out until I feel more relaxed and the dream has begun to dissipate. That is what it is, a nightmare. A terrible nightmare, but a dream all the same. How about a trick, little star? Oh, a trick? Okay, Waltz pulls away from me, hand curled. Abra... Cadabra. What? A lily sprouts to life between his fingers. The sight brings a smile to my face. Oh, my favorite flower. You showed me this trick before when I was a child. I poke him in the shoulder. You promised you'd show me how to do it on my 18th birthday, but you never did. It's not as if I can't still teach you, you know. Besides, I was teaching you more important things then. You taught me about shields every single day. Waltz laughs. And now you make the best shields, and you have impeccable control over your electricity. Oh, nice. I guess I'm, what's it called? Not Hydro? Cairo? No, not Cairo. I forgot. It was in the classes of Genshin. But yeah, I have electricity powers. Yay. Except for those moments where you accidentally shock me. I rub my fingers together, waiting until they spark with electricity before I shock Waltz in the shoulder. He shrinks away with a laugh. You mean like that? Just like that. Anyway, he leans forward. You're going to take it easy today, understood? Oh, I just took a day off last week. Well, and now you can take another. You're forgetting you have advisors and counselors who can fill in for you. You should put them to work. Waltz, right? Exactly. I won't take no for an answer. You need to relax, girl. Do you have any plans for us? I have things I need to do, but I want you to take some time off today. That's not fair. Oh, it's more than fair. I'm just looking out for you. Protest, concede. I appreciate his thoughts. I really do. Like, honestly, I feel like not enough people take the breaks that they're due for, you know? They're like, oh, look at everybody just, you know, working so hard and stuff. But it's like, yeah, but you do too. You do the most. And you need to, you know, almost like take care of yourself and not worry about what others are doing. And then, you know, you can get right back into it. Concede. I concede. You gotta give some, okay? I grumble beneath my breath. Fine. No doubt I will be panicking all day about the work I will need to do tomorrow. Taking a break is going to be more stressful than doing work. You're workaholic. Not if you let yourself relax. Breaks aren't just nice, they're necessary. We do our best work when we're refreshed. Exactly, he has a point. Why is it that I must take a break when you won't? You're making this into a competition when it definitely is not supposed to be, right? He leans forward to kiss the tip of my nose. Do this for me, little star? Okay. He looks at me, eyes wide and pleading. The expression is so endearing I cannot help but laugh. I already said I would. Good. Yay! Good. I think this will really help with the nightmares too. Exactly. So, I think a bath might help you relax. We have some time before breakfast. Okay. Why are you looking at me like that? Have you already taken your bath? Waltz's lips curve into a lopsided smile. I have, but I wouldn't mind jumping in again with you. My face is so warm it feels like it is on fire. I grab the pillow off the bed and throw it at Waltz, who laughs when I abruptly rise. Are you still embarrassed about the last time? He raises an eyebrow. I thought it was pretty fun. Stop talking. Was it the gossiping servants that made it strange? I still remember the looks we got last time, coming from the bath chamber at the same time. We did not have the time to freshen up afterwards, so it was clear we had both taken a bath. Together. No one said anything to me, of course, or acted like it was strange, but, you know, the vibe. I cannot stop thinking about the way they looked at us, like they were trying not to smile. It was worth it, in my opinion. Hey girl, don't mind them, whatever. You're in a loving, healthy, happy relationship right now. Like, they're just happy for you. I slide out of bed and make my way toward the door. Waltz calls out to me. Hannah, would you like to visit the graves later? We can start by going to the royal catacombs and visiting your father? Yeah. I pause. In all my busyness, I have missed visiting the catacombs and the graveyard. Missed visiting everyone. I would like that. Then I'll see you later. Okay, I nod. Yes, I shall see you later. Okie dokes. Later, during breakfast, Emmeline talks excitedly about her upcoming visit to Brigantia. It has been over a year since Brigantia and Angiel entered a full alliance. Claude and I were the representatives for our kingdoms. It was only suitable as Claude is the Brigantian heir, yes. Ever since then, our families have become closer. Emmeline especially has become well acquainted with Claude's younger brother, Lance. She visits him in Brigantia every couple months. Ooh. Lance tells me he's already prepared a tour of all the kingdom's best restaurants. It's going to be wonderful. You think everything is wonderful so long as you're with Lance. Have we met Lance before? I hide my smile behind my hand when Emmeline blushes. It is clear Emmeline really enjoys Lance's company, so much so that they exchange letters and visit each other often. It always makes me smile to see her besotted with someone. Of course I do. Lance is Lance. What in the world does that mean? Look at him, so grumpy. You're blushing, dear. Mother, please. Ophelia chuckles. Sorry, you just become so animated when you speak about him. Rod nods. Even more than usual. Emmeline puts her face in her hands and mumbles something. I shake my head. I like Lance. Yeah. I approve. Waltz laughs. He's very different from Claude, that's for sure. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. While Claude is flamboyant and overdramatic, Lance is subdued and humble. The two of them are like two very different sides of the same coin. You can have a conversation with Prince Lance that isn't entirely about him. If Claude were here, he'd clutch his chest and whisper, "You wound me." Yes. And we'd laugh. Not at him, but with him. Oh, I really miss them. Everyone at the tavern. I always took that time for granted, but now I rarely see everyone together. At least I have everyone here. I look up to see Ophelia trying to mediate while Emmeline and Rod bicker. Before, these conversations would have annoyed me. Now I am a part of them. Yeah, it is nice to feel like I belong. My whole life, that is all I ever wanted, to belong. The rest of our breakfast is pleasant, filled with animated chatter. When it is over, we all head our separate ways. Okay, I promised Waltz that I would take a break, so I do. I knew the moment I left the dining hall what I would do to relax. Read? I smiled to myself as I looped my needle through a fine piece of fabric again and again. Oh, we are cross-stitching. Or sewing. I have spent the morning sewing puppets. My hope is that Waltz will be able to use these for his shows, and that maybe, when I am less busy, I will be able to join him. The thought of a joint puppet show lifts my heart. It has been a long time since I helped Waltz as his assistant. I hope we can do something again soon. I glance up when the clock sounds. Oh, right, I told Waltz I would meet him by the royal catacombs. I rise from my chair and begin to make my preparations to leave. Okay, off we go. I have just stepped into the corridor when I see a familiar face. Jurian. Jurian? Yeah. Good afternoon, Your Majesty. Jurian approaches and bows low before me. Good afternoon, Jurian. Garland isn't with you? He's busy training the new recruits. Yeah, without you, the commander? Garland can handle himself just fine. Besides, the recruits are a lot less nervous when it's just him. Of that I have no doubt. I hear that Jurian is the one who pushes them and Garland the one who forces them to take breaks. He and Jurian balance each other out that way. After I was crowned the Queen of Angiel, I appointed Jurian the new commander of the Order of Caldera. She immediately chose Garland as her second-in-command, which was not at all surprising. I was always able to tell that the two of them were close. Now I see that even more. Oh! I cast a look over my shoulder before leaning forward and whispering. So, has Garland proposed yet? Has he proposed? Jurian stares at me, horrified. Wait, how did you know about that? Well, she coughs. Your Majesty. Waltz told me. He said he and Garland were talking about it one night in town. Jurian sighs. Damn it, Lan. She raises an eyebrow. You're lucky he did propose, otherwise you would have ruined the surprise. Oh, shit. Well, Garland did bring this up months ago, so... Wait. I blink at her. So it's already happened and you said yes. Yeah. Of course. Were you expecting me not to? Garland is my partner in everything. Aw, y'all are so cute. Her cheeks are flushed when she makes the proclamation, which makes it all the more endearing. Congratulations, Jurian. I'm so happy for both of you. Thank you kindly, Your Majesty. She smiles. I fully expect your wedding will happen before ours? Oh, well. The question stumps me. I always forget about the indefinitely proposed marriage ceremony until someone brings it up. Jurian shakes her head. I'm just teasing. There's never any rush for such things, right? I appreciate you saying that. I pause, thoughtful. Before you head out, I have a question for you about Fritz. If this is about his impending promotion, then yes, I think he's proven himself more than worthy. The words ease a weight I didn't know I was carrying on my shoulders. Okay. Fritz has been working so tirelessly to make amends for the mistakes that he was forced to make in the past. I proposed a promotion to Jurian months ago when I saw all of his hard work. Fritz has no idea. We plan on surprising him with an announcement sometime in the near future. I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you for your hard work, Jurian. Of course, my queen. I must take my leave now. Waltz is waiting for me. Give him my greetings, your majesty. Yes. Okay, bye-bye. Jurian bows and walks away. Okay. When I arrive at the royal catacombs, Waltz is waiting for me with a bouquet of lilies. Oh. Did work keep you longer? Oh. No, I ran into Jurian. She said to offer you her greetings. I wish I'd caught her before I left today. I miss talking with her and Garland. They're always so busy now. Aren't we all? Yeah. Waltz shakes his head, a sad smile on his face. Standing here with him, I suddenly remember something he once said to me. He told me once that as we grow older, we forget how to be happy. Do you still think that's the truth, Waltz? I think so. To be quite honest, yeah. We get so caught up and it's always like, oh, gotta, be on the grind, 24/7. And it's just like, well, people forget to, take breaks and to, just do things just to do things rather than have it as like a side hustle, Ah, you remember that? I also said once that adults aren't children, that they worry too much and don't appreciate the small joys in life. I'll be honest, when I see you overworking yourself, I do think about that sometimes. Well, that's why you are the way you are, isn't it? You have a child's heart, you do find joy in the little things, and that's not a bad thing. Waltz's expression Waltz's expression shudders so fast it alarms me. Like I said, it's not like it's a bad thing. I apologize. I didn't mean to compare you to a child. I know that comparison used to really bother him. You're right. Waltz's shoulders sag. No, it isn't that, Hana. It's more the innocent part. Well, I'm not innocent at all, The two of us could argue about this for days. Whatever my mother made Waltz do in the past, it was not his fault. He was a child that had no real power then. I respectfully disagree. I grasp his free hand. I will never change my opinion of you, Waltz. Oh, yeah. Let us go visit father. As you wish. So the catacombs are a short walk from where we're standing. Father's body is interred here in an elaborate coffin that sits beneath a statue. Waltz gives me some space to speak to him alone. Hello, Father. It's been a while. I set a couple of lilies down on his coffin. I still hear your voice. It encourages me, even after all these years. Oh. I confess I feel small sometimes. I feel ill-prepared to carry on your legacy, but I am trying my best. I will always try my best. I set a hand down on the coffin. A bitter, jarring cold sinks into my fingers. I miss you so much, Father. I hope wherever you are, that you are watching over me. I smell at the coffin one last time before returning to Waltz. He still has some flowers, offerings we mean to set on Mother and Parfait's gravestones in the forest. Shall we? Okay. I settle my hand in the crook of Waltz's arm. We shall. We make our way to the forest. Off we go. The smell of flowers permeates the air as we draw closer to the small gravesite. It is not long before I see the field of flowers that mark the site. It is a serene place filled with a plethora of vibrant flowers and littered with rays of sunlight. It is the perfect resting place. We make our way over to the two gravestones erected in the center of the field, the previous Lucis and Tenebrarium bearers, resting side by side. Waltz sets a lily down on the first grave. For Lady Parfait. I set the other lily down on the second gravestone, and one for Mother. They were enemies in the end, but I really hope the two of them are at peace wherever they are now. Waltz sets a hand on my shoulder. If Lady Parfait was here, she would no doubt say she was proud of you. Parfait was always kinder to me than I deserved. That's not true, Hana. You deserved all that kindness and more. My eyes linger on Mother's grave. Waltz seems to read my thoughts from my silence. I think your mother would have been proud of you too. But mother thought I was a traitor in the end. I was just a tenebrarium talking. I'm sure before all of that she was she was nice a little, Sometimes in my nightmares I can still hear her screaming, that same scream that echoed in the throne room when I betrayed her trust and shot her with electricity 2 years ago. The Hildire you knew was corrupted by the Tenebrarium, but Lady Parfait said she was a kind person before the corruption. I'm sure there was still some of that person left in your mother when she died. Yeah. A chasm always opens up inside me when I realize I never truly knew that version of my mother. The mother I know was cold and manipulative. She erased my memories and used children to do her bidding. My eyes wandered to Waltz. I'm sorry, Waltz. For what? For the way my mother must have treated you. I remember when the king told me Waltz found out belatedly that my mother killed his parents. She stole everything from him. I've told you before, Hana, none of that was your fault. Without you, I probably would have become corrupted by the darkness of the Tenebrarium too. You were my guiding light back then. You still are, little star. Oh. He crosses his arms as he looks at the gravestones. There is a thoughtful, forlorn look in his eyes. Do you mind if we make a detour on our way back to the palace? Yeah. A detour to the Marchen? Waltz shakes his head. Okay. Oh, no, it's here in the forest. Oh. He brushes past me and makes his way over to a rose bush. He plucks 2 of the flowers, then turns to me. It won't take long, I promise. I nod, more curious than anything else. Is he gonna take us to his parents' grave? Have we ever been to his parents' grave or know where his parents were buried? Maybe this is it. Waltz smiles. Thank you, Hana. He snaps his fingers. A bright light encompasses the area, and moments later, a portal appears before us. Waltz and I walk into it hand in hand. Okay. My vision briefly goes white. When it clears, I see I am in a different part of the forest. This place is quieter, even further away from the hustle and bustle of the town. I do not recognize it at all. This place is still the same. Where is this place? Waltz pulls me forward into a clearing. It is empty, save for 2 big rocks lying incongruously on the cleared ground. His grip tightens on my hand. He suddenly looks tense. Waltz? This is where my home used to be. Oh. I glance around the area and notice scorch marks on the trees. Oh, damn. Yeah. Your home? You mean... This is where I used to live with my parents. Waltz's face is filled with melancholy. This is the first time I've come back to this place in years. This area of the forest is unnaturally quiet. It feels as if the trees themselves are mourning, like grief has drenched this place in a permanent, stifling melancholy. I have asked Waltz many times about his childhood. Always, he tells me his memories of his past are hazy. I never pushed him to recall anything on my behalf. I know what it is like to be weighed down by traumatic memories. But seeing the sadness on Waltz's face now, I wonder how much he has been keeping from me, not because he doesn't remember, but because he does not want to remember. I'm sorry, Hana. I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with you. I said before I didn't remember a lot of my life before Hildire, but that was a lie. You do not need to apologize to me, Waltz. I know some memories are better left buried. That's how I felt too. That's still how I feel. He breathes out softly. I always told myself I would bring you here after we got married, so that I could introduce you to my parents. He shakes his head. But you let me accompany you when you visit your family, so I want you to meet mine. Waltz walks me over to the rocks, his parents' graves, I now realize. My parents told me they built the house all the way out here because they wanted to avoid humans. It was the safest place to be during the war. My parents were pacifists. To avoid detection, they rarely used their magic, which meant they barely taught me how to use my magic as I was growing up. But everyone says you were a child prodigy. Waltz nods. I studied on my own when they weren't watching. He shuffles on his feet, looking suddenly abashed. I snuck out to town and participated in secret tournaments even. There were tournaments happening during the war? Waltz sighs. Most of them were harmless, a means for witches to practice their magic without humans finding out, but some of those tournaments were not so harmless. I can only imagine some witches used those tournaments to hone their skills for more nefarious purposes, but then I am certain there were knights who were training to do the same. I only went to the tournaments to practice, but I ended up drawing the attention of some very dangerous witches. My mother. Waltz nods. Hildire was never a part of the tournaments herself, but she recruited her best witches there. I knew none of that. I was just a kid. Waltz crosses his arms. He shudders, even though the air is stale and there is no breeze. My parents eventually found out about my excursions and forbid me from going out. I didn't know it at the time, but Hildire had approached them when I wasn't home. She said I had potential, that she wanted me as her apprentice. I looked around the quiet clearing, heart sinking. I feel I already know how this story ends, and it makes me feel hollow. I was stubborn. The day my parents died. Waltz is looking at the gravestones, expression deadpan. I'd snuck out to participate in another tournament when news spread of a house burning in the forest. Waltz squeezes his eyes shut, his breathing hitches. By the time I got back, everything was already burned down to ashes. Waltz. Hildyr approached me that same day. She told me the fire had been started by witch-hating humans. When I had nowhere else to go, she offered me a place to stay, a home. She applauded my strength. She made me feel valued. Waltz speaks haltingly, as if it takes a great deal of effort to say the words aloud. I wrap an arm around his shoulders and let him lean into me. I know his pain. I know his pain. When I was a child, I felt this same pain. She introduced me to another one of her prodigies, Myth. The two of us, we blindly followed her every order, even when... His voice trails, but I do not push. I lean my head against Waltz's shoulder. He sags against me. I didn't know Hildyr was the one who killed my parents until after she erased her memories. How did you find out? You were my light, Hana. When I lost you, I felt like I'd fallen into darkness. I was so desperate, I went to the king. I wanted to see if there was anything he could do to help you. Instead, he told me about my parents. The king may not have had any power over his kingdom then, but he still had his spies. And through one of these spies, he overheard that story. That was when I finally broke, when I tried to make things right. Hildyr took everything from me. My parents, you, everything. So I turned my back on her. I betrayed her. Silence settles over the forest again. I rub soothing circles into Waltz's back, as he often does with me. When he next speaks, his voice is soft, fragile. Hildyr may have been the one to burn down the house, but I was the one who led her to them. If I had just listened, if I hadn't participated in any of those tournaments, they'd probably still be alive. No, comfort him. No. It's okay. Like, you were a kid. You didn't know any better. Like us with most kids. Like, we do stupid shit all the time. Comfort him. I wrap my arms around Waltz's waist and rest my head against his chest. Waltz, you were a child. Yeah, exactly. But if I had just listened... You can't think that way. You were not the one who set fire to the house. That was Mother's doing. You always tell me not to apologize for the things my mother did, and now I am telling you not to blame yourself for her actions. There is no point regretting a past we cannot change. All we can do is focus on creating a brighter future. And Waltz... You have done so much for this kingdom. You always tell me my parents would be proud of me. I am sure your parents would be proud of you too. Right? I feel some of the tension seep out of Waltz's body as he returns my embrace. Thank you, Hana. Aw. Magic must never be used to harm others, only to protect them. That was what my parents used to say. Yay! I remembered that when I met you. Remembered? You're right. There's no point in thinking about the past now. You are my life now, Hana, and I brought you here to see my parents. Thank you for listening to me. I've carried this story with me for many years. It's good to finally be able to share it. Waltz steps away and leads me to the two big rocks. We each place a rose on them. Father, Mother. This is my fiancée, Queen Hana Riel Britton of Angiel. She's also the bearer of our Crystalium Tenebrarium. Very soon, when we're both ready, we're going to be married. I smiled down at the gravestones. I do not know what Waltz's parents looked like or even what they were like in demeanor. But the way Waltz speaks of them, it is with regret. He misses them, and I can tell he loved them. I bow my head. It is nice to meet you both. I speak to them as I speak to my own parents. I tell them about how much I love Waltz and how much he has done for this kingdom. I am the luckiest woman in the world to have him by my side. Oh, Waltz is beaming beside me. Up. Hit the scroll button. Thank you, Hana. I'm the luckiest man in the world to be able to stand by your side. He gently squeezes my hand. It'll be dark soon. Indeed, maybe we should head back? Waltz looks thoughtful. Actually, if you don't mind, I have something I want to show you. Ooh, more things to show me, okay. Something else? Waltz laughs. I know, I'm just dragging you all over the place, but this will be worth it, I promise. Okay, I'll go anywhere with you, don't worry about it. Waltz and I walk through the forest until we reach a hill at the outskirts. Here, we have a clear view of the night sky and the scintillating stars strewn across its expanse. Waltz, what are we doing here? Stargazing. Oh. When I just blink at him, Waltz laughs and tugs me gently down to the ground. I sit beside him, shivering slightly as a cool breeze rustles my clothing. It is a chilly night, but this breeze is actually refreshing. When was the last time you saw a shooting star? I don't remember. I do. It was a long time ago, not long after I met you. Oh? I just snuck out of your room and back to mine. He smiles softly. I had such a fun time, so much fun in fact, that when I saw a shooting star outside my window, I wished that fun would never end. I wished in that moment that I could keep having fun with you forever. Your wish came true. Waltz laughs. It did. Your happiness was always my primary concern, but it means the world that I could be the one to share that happiness with you. There is no one else I'd rather share it with. Oh, I gasped when something bright streaks against the sky, one of the shooting stars we had just talked about. I do not remember if I have ever seen a shooting star, but I know what comes next. I clasp my hands together, close my eyes, and make a wish. I wish to be the queen my kingdom needs, and to be a bearer worthy of the Tenebrarium. And I wish to make Waltz just as happy as he has made me. Waltz speaks in a whisper. Hana, open your eyes. Are you planning this? Did you plan this? Oh my gosh. How did you just orchestrate a shooting star at this moment? I open my eyes to a sight so stunning it takes my breath away. The sky is filled with shooting stars. It's a meteor shower. It's like magic. You're the Tenebrarium bearer. I'm sure you could perform this kind of magic if you wanted to. I do not ever think I could capture this kind of natural beauty. Waltz looks at me, smiling gently. They're beautiful, but not as beautiful as you, little star. Oh, stop. The words make my heart hitch. Sometimes I think I do not deserve you, Waltz. That has never been true. I am the unworthy one, Hana. I disagree. You have always been more than worthy, Waltz. We're gonna go back and forth. No you! No you! No you! Thank you, Waltz, for everything. I am so happy we were able to spend this much time together today. Me too. Waltz looks quiet, thoughtful, as he gazes up at the night sky. Someday, when everything is more stable, I hope we can spend even more time together, and that we can share that time with others. Yeah. Others. No. Kids. I mean, personally not for me, but like, this is a cute thought. Waltz's eyes are sparkling just as brightly as the stars when he looks at me again. May I ask you a question? Of course. Someday in the future, when we're ready, how many children do you want? Oh. Preferably none, but maybe one or two at most. The question makes my cheeks burn. Children? None. I have no preference. I have no preference, per se. No? Any child we have would be a blessing. Now it is Waltz who blushes. The rosiness of his cheeks makes me laugh. How many would you want? You're right. Any child would be a blessing, but you want many children. How did you know? Well, keep in mind, I'm the one who has to be the pregnant one. I'm the one who has to push them out, so you have to be considerate of me. It is not hard to guess. You are always so good with them, Waltz. Children adore you. I only hope that I would be as good a mother as you are a father. There's no doubt in my mind. The children love you too, you know. But my mother... You aren't your mother, Hana. You're full of love and light, little star, and you would be an amazing mother. Oh. Is there a reason you asked me this question in the first place? Well, we were talking about the future earlier. That is the far future. Waltz laughs. Wherever and whenever this future is, I'm looking forward to it. I sigh, but I am smiling. Me too, Waltz. I lean my head against his shoulder. He interlaces his fingers through mine and kisses my head. For a while, the two of us sit there watching the stars. We do not think about the crushing weight of the present, but instead turn our gazes toward our dream of a brighter future. Aww. I like that. We had a cute little days at the end of chapter 2. That is the end of chapter 2. There we go. And chapter 3 is skeletons in the closet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got some, obviously some things to unpack, as probably the title suggests. But anyways, we're gonna leave that in the next episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your patience as always. That was chapter 2. it's a great start because you know we got little cute little moments with Waltz because of all the, even in chapter 1 it's like it seems like it's such a struggle to just find time to spend with each other. So yeah, we got that. We got little fluffy moments. Yay! So obviously moving forward, I guess we're going to delve a little bit more into, you know, the problems that we will face as a couple together in the next following chapters. Subscribe to my channel if any of you are new here and not aware. I am on a semi-hiatus because of conflicting work schedules and stuff, so I don't know when's the next time I'm able to upload for you guys or to sit down and do episodes recordings for you. So the best way to know when the next time I'm going to upload is to subscribe to my channel, because even myself personally, I wouldn't know even if you asked me. So yes, I take the opportunities as they come. So that is the surest way to know. Thank you all so much for sticking around and for being patient again. And I hope you guys will look forward to the next episode, or perhaps maybe another game I might throw in. Who knows? Maybe if I feel a little spicy, I might throw in another game or another Let's Play. But yeah, we'll see. And until then, bye!